This island isn't just a place, it's a defining moment in time. And for me, well, it's frozen. It's always frozen to that moment when I first made eye contact with a T-Rex.
I'd say we can't live in the
Okay, testing. Testing.
past. But that's kind of what we do, isn't it? I guess if we can bring back extinct animals, why not bring back extinct parks?
Welcome to Jurassic World Evolution. We're going to be working on my Isla Nublar, my sandbox island. I've been working on my 5 deaths quite a bit. I've got Isla Manticeros completed with all the dinosaurs that are given to you on that map. Started doing that on Morta. I've got stuff and like the whole story finished on these other islands, but I don't have my islands finalized yet. They're all works in progress. And the Isla Nublar, I've never really built on, at least a lot of. You can only have one sandbox island at a time. But I already have these 4 islands to work on, and it's pretty much sandbox with how much money I have on each island, so it doesn't really matter there. So I'm going to work on just kind of casually building the island I want here on Nublar. And a couple things about sandbox. I'm not going to be playing on the unlimited money function, because I think that, you know, really once you start generating money at your park, you pretty much have unlimited money anyways. So we are going to go through some of our sandbox settings and change things. Right now, I wish there was a random setting for weather, because that's what I would put it on. Randomized setting, so that would be really, really nice. To never know when to expect it. Like, they could have a setting that's, you know, for weather, it would say random. And then they should have another setting for, like, storm. Well, I guess random would be like, it wouldn't be storm levels on fast intervals or slow intervals. It feels like I've been playing on Isla Morta a lot. So I'm not going to have storms on for a while just because they seem really annoying. But it seems like when I play on Morta that you could almost time it to the second how often a storm is going to happen, and it just becomes redundant after a while. It'd be nice if there was, I don't know, different things that storms or weather could have an impact on other than just making the dinos a little bit pissed off. No failed incubations. Well, I can put on the I can put all my dinos to 90% anyways with my creation labs, so we might as well put this on since all the dinos will be hatching will just be 100%. The failed incubation thing, I mean, that's not really, it's not really a huge part of the game. Well, actually, no, we'll leave it off. We'll leave it off. A low disease because diseases are annoying. Dinosaur lifespan, I like to leave that on. Low escapes because just because the weather gets a little bit rough, I don't think dinos should just randomly start headbutting their fences. You know, they'd have, realistically, they might just burrow down and hide in their enclosures. You know, if dinosaurs were even still alive and genetically modified. We'll leave this stuff all on for now. Low outages. We're going to leave unlimited power off. Even though that's one I've considered. I might mess with that and see what it's like. Like, if I put this on and apply it, I've never actually done this. My cache is unlimited. Can I just lay down? What's something that builds really quickly? Oh, here. Like, if I just lay this down. Now let's see if this this automatically has power to it. All finished up. Power required 3. Powered, yes. So you don't even need a power station in no power mode. It's an easy way to make your parks look really good. No power pylons ruining it. But it's not a setting that I'm going to have on my park. So let's go back to our sandbox settings. Pretty much, you know, infinite feeders. I've turned that on before. I like that one, but it gives the rangers something to do as well. Cash, we're going to go high because that gives you 32 million. The game says that that's high. I don't really know that that's a high amount. Hammering down foundation feet. We're going to be starting at fair. Dinosaur variety. This changes the number of dinos. I thought it was 24, but I think this is 22 on hard. Dinosaur rating, we'll leave that. Busier park. With more guests to satisfy. I'm not sure I understand that. That means the higher you put it on, the more guests you get? That's a good problem. Economic affects the amount of money. Right now the economy's doing great. So there should be no difficulty, right? We'll put that on normal. Contracts we'll put on. I wish there was a setting for... Huh. We're gonna have to play around with this setting. I wish there was a setting for, like, turning off the... How do I explain it? Turning off the fact that, like, if you have so many dinos in an enclosure that your guests require a lot of attention in said enclosure, but that's going to be our settings for now. We're going to leave contracts off until we got our park started. So here's kind of how I interpret sandbox mode, like, for how I'm going to play for right now. This whole game is supposed to take place after Jurassic World and Fallen Kingdom, and I assume the newest one. Let's just assume we're taking place after all of this for some longevity of the game. But the old park, Isla Nublar, got destroyed by the volcano, but now it's been several years, and they've managed to find the park, find some usable parts of the park, because Mount Sibo it's right there. As you can see, things have regrown a little bit, but it's pretty dead. It's not near the wild Jurassic World it was. It's just trees and grass right now. After a couple years, they've managed to, let's just say they've managed to, through science or whatnot, the park has managed to rebuild itself, and all they've gotten restarted here on the island is the docks and a monorail station to this area. This is the only area that's been deemed usable. The rest of it hasn't had enough time to grow or turn into a park, or, it's been flattened out from the lava or something. Let's just say that. So we've got, basically, if Mount Sibo is to the north of us, then this is technically the south part of the island, the usable part. But we're gonna pay attention to this shape here. I like to pay attention to this shape here when I play, because it's actually about the shape of the actual island. So, in the details on, like, the Wikipedia and stuff about Jurassic World, the Isla Nublar Island is supposed to be about 30 square miles. We could say this is going to be, probably about probably about 10 square miles in here. Let's just say that. Even though that might be a complete exaggeration. It's about a third of the map available to us. The rest of it's just too rough and hilly from all that volcanic activity. So, the way I interpret sandbox mode is, I get to build the park how I want, and I'm going to build it in a way that's kind of an homage to all the Jurassic World and park movies. So, what I'd like to do in my sandbox is I'd like to have all the classic dinos. So, Stego, T-Rex, Triceratops, Gallimimus, Parasaurs, Raptors, Dillos. Of course, we'll have the hybrids in there. If I go to my InGen database, some other classic dinos. Brachy's, of course. Obviously Ankies. I would consider those a classic dinosaur. The Pachycephalosaurus. These guys, I consider them a classic dino. Spino's a classic. I don't have any of the DLC dinos, so right now my dino list kind of sucks. You can see there's just a few left for me to unlock, so I'm not going to be like working on this park straight through and grinding on it. But while I'm talking, let's just get to work here. I might have my mic on and off while I play. I might stream some sessions and not even have my mic off, but I just wanted to get a fresh start here and kind of explain the settings that I'm going to be using. So if I screw up on this park and say dinos get loose and people start getting ate, the Hammond Foundation fee is going to go up, because the idea that I'm playing with here is that like the engine, they've managed to reclaim the park, but there's a lot more expenses for them as a company because of all the things that happened in the past with the park. So safety rating will be the big concern. But I'm just gonna, be casually playing this on my stream, on and off of the mic. So feel free to stop by and say hi anytime you're watching this, and should be a fun time.
Bienvenue à Jurassic World. Nous vous souhaitons un agréable séjour.
I'm gonna be doing that I should be noting is closing the park, because we don't need to have people guest here until we start what I would call pre-sale. And we're going to be using cheap paths, and we're going to be building along as we go. We're not going to be building it perfect right away, because I do pretty much need to come up with a general idea of how I want to build this park. The monorail there comes in on the north side of the park, which is interesting, but since, the Jurassic World, they had to find a new place to build docks that was usable on the island after the volcano and whatnot. So this island is, it's been a couple years, and they've reseeded everything and managed to get life and growth again. You know what I noticed is that's boarded off. When you build a regular tram, it's not boarded off. I wish they would keep it boarded off just for aesthetics. But right now with my settings, 22 dinos, that would be a good goal. But basically how I have interpreted the game is that since the fall of Jurassic Park and Jurassic World, they realized that they can't just have one park. And me, as the park manager that they hired since, because I'm a badass, has managed to go through and start working on every park in the Los Cinco Muertes. And each park, has the dinos that the game gives you. So we'll have every single dino throughout all 5 parks, because most of... Let's see if we're here. Mount Sibo's here. I believe it's right here on the north side. Then we're basically in this big open spot. and they come in through this little sliver or something. Let's just say that. So we're in the dead center of the map, but we can't use the whole map because of the game's restrictions and the fact that Mount Siebel blew up several years ago. Well, not several, a couple years ago now. So if every main dino is covered in the game, we're going to be using the best of the best dinos on this map because it's basically still the biggest map. So, what do I want to do? Let's start with cheap paths because we're at 32 million, but we can update these paths just using the cheap paths to start, and I'm gonna build through this way because I'm honestly too lazy to clear out the brush. And I find that if you build your pathing from an overhead view, you can make it look nicer. Like, it won't look as jagged and whatnot. I don't know how to explain that because your hand probably does around the same. See, those curves look nice and natural. If I did that up close, they'll look like shit. It's an interesting thing how that works. Landscaping, we'll try to save some money here, but we do got to clear out these trees. I like to use this bottom portion of the map for the Hammond Creation Lab, and it'll actually be our first enclosure, so we can start making money. Because we're gonna have, big dinos from the start. We're gonna have all the best genetic modifications. I don't have Secrets of Dr. Wu, but I can certainly make my dinosaurs rating and lifespans go pretty high. Let's clear this water out. I noticed clearing this out before that this water remains. So this is, that's gonna be where the natural water source for this first enclosure is gonna come from. So we're just gonna extend it from this, kind of down along here. We want this to be the enclosure for, I'll probably have a T-Rex to start. I feel like that's the classic thing to go with. And I'm also gonna take I'm gonna trim this water a little bit. Give it kind of a somewhat unique shape. We'll worry about decorating when we're finished with the pan. The big thing about this area is you do have a really, really slight slope, and anytime you place stuff on a slope, it's gonna fuck with it. I want to do as little landscaping as possible because I like the natural terrain. It's got a good flow to it here at the park, so we don't want to mess with it too much, but placing buildings is a challenge with that. So that's probably the most frustrating mechanic in the game, to be honest. We're going to place down my creation lab here where it's going to be somewhat even, and I want to also place it to the side as far as I can because we need a viewing gallery. We need to make it look proper. So let's go ahead and demo my path to about there and see what we're looking at. Now the Hammond Creation Lab's got a natural reverse L shape to it, I guess. I mean, we could make it connect right to it, or we can kind of make it branch off over here. But I feel like this will be the right size. I mean, if I come up here, then the enclosure is kind of small. I want it to be a big enough enclosure that I can house any dino in here while I work on their pen and they won't be all pissed off. Like, I could easily modify the pen, I guess is what I should say. So, yeah, if I place this down, it's gonna fuck with the terrain. Something awful. But there's nothing really you could do with it. So let's just place it down and see how we can modify our shitty terrain here. I want to make sure it's somewhat even. And this will be a nice, good-sized enclosure to start. Alright, so you can see this really fucked up our terrain. I wish they would fix that. That's honestly the most frustrating part of the game, especially when you're trying to make a nice park, I noticed. So we're just gonna flatten, starting from here and here. And we might leave that at a slight incline there. We're just gonna flatten it enough that it doesn't look super fucked up. We could, if we smooth it out, basically then it just brings that hill closer to us again, eventually getting to where it's gonna look fucked up. But if you're good, you can smooth stuff out enough that it looks like a realistic incline that people could actually walk on. Like, I'm pretty sure I could walk down this incline, because if you look at the size of a door, this game really fucks with your perspective sometime, because if you look at the size of stuff from up top, things just look tiny, or things look huge, but then when you come down you realize, like, whoa, that door's pretty tiny. You know, probably you could fit, you know, at least 4 or 5 people just on these thin sidewalks. So yeah, let's go ahead and branch off our path so this is connected to the start point. Just letting that natural curve take place. Now we got some smoothing to do here. Landscaping is just the biggest pain in the ass in this game, to be honest, but it is a wild park. What are you gonna do about it, you know? Not the worst looking path ever. So we do need power. That's gonna be an issue. Go ahead and smooth some of this out so it doesn't look too fucked up. We'll work on the enclosure after we deal with power. Yeah, that's not looking too bad. Power wise, if we're gonna be using this for an enclosure, power wise, you know, I've got my path going here, so I don't fuck with that. If you look at it this way, basically take this map, cut it from here to here, so it's like a giant slice of pizza. I'm gonna use this section all for operations, with ACU and Rangers probably being around here, so they're accessible to most of the park. The north side might be kind of difficult. I haven't decided on what the layout will be for the park. But having all my operations down here will be easy to accomplish, because I don't have to worry about expedition, fossil, or research on Isla Nublar, because we can't do those things. I mean, we could lay them down, but they'd be an absolute waste of space. I'd rather use the space on the power grid. So, we cut this slice of pizza from here to here. We can lay power down right here, and I've done it before. We just take out all these trees. Looks like broccoli. So you got a pretty nice flat area, so you might as well utilize it for power. Basically what I've learned playing a lot of this game is guest facilities and operations require flat as possible. Dinosaurs do not. So, and it looks better to have your enclosures looking a little bit wild and whatnot. There is some natural water. Oh, we could get rid of that water. So we're just going to take the water out from there. And then we can fit about 3 or 4 power stations here. Large power stations. And that will 100% cover our power requirements on this island. So if I start I want to make sure they're somewhat symmetrical with each other, because I like building a park that's both symmetrical and has some natural curves to it and some like design. I am not these master path park designer person like some of these people on YouTube. It's very impressive what you can see people achieve on this game. So we don't want to build too far out. I mean, I could like go 1, 2, 3, 4 and have some space here in the back. Oh, maybe I will do that. Would it look better against? I'll build it right about there in the middle so I can build as high up here as possible. And I ought to be able to fit about 4 power stations here and be done with the whole power grid conundrum. So yep, let's go ahead and place her down. Cancel that. Bring another one over as close as possible. Rotate it. Because if you're gonna have to need a lot of power, you might as well get your power section done right away, so you just don't have to worry about power the rest of the game. Other than connecting it, because honestly, connecting it is a big enough annoyance. And make sure the power grid's interconnected, and we'll see how many we can add here. These are like $1 million a pop, and I only had that 32 million to start, so it's good to get this done right away and not have to worry about squeezing in power stations later on in the game, you know. And that looks pretty good right there. Let's scoot it just a smidge closer. That looks really good right there, I think. Go ahead and connect it. And then let's see if we can squeeze one more in here. 4 should be all we ever need power station wise. And we have low outages, so we're going to try maxing out that power. But to start, we'll probably put our... That looks pretty good right there. Bam! Alright, 4 power stations. Hell yeah. We'll probably put our settings for power on low cost, because I have 4 power stations, so I don't need to worry about improved output just yet. We'll go ahead and connect our pathing from here. So I'll probably draw a line. Well, hell, I don't know. I could draw it. I could branch it off from here to here, because I've got more room in my pizza slice up here for anything I need. Without having the research, expedition, and fossil center, it really enhances the amount of space that you can use. Just gonna be using the cheap path. Let's say people, to start, the park hasn't opened yet. They're gonna come here, and right about here at the top of the hill, they'll have a little choice that the path can branch off to. And we'll go ahead and just make it straight. And we'll make it just kind of branch in line with the buildings here. There we go. Perfect. Just trying to save as much money as possible on our pathing. So let's go ahead and connect all these bad boys, because I like making an efficient park. I hate wasting space. But I also like using space. I think if you use the space, then your park doesn't look as congested and full of shit. So let's go ahead and smooth this all out. The grass here is already nice and clean. And let's connect this last one. Give it a little curve so it looks kind of architecturally designed or something like that. There. So the Hammond lab. So power is done. Upgrade wise, let's go ahead and upgrade these. It's costing me 16 grand to run these. So we're going to start with reduced upkeep 3.0s. And that brings it down to 13 grand a minute. So let's have 2 of these. 10 grand a minute. That's not too bad. 1 outage protection and then 2 improved outputs. We can always switch it so we have 2 more improved outputs. So we got plenty. We're gonna have plenty of power on these things, but let's go ahead and go through and upgrade all of them now. Wait, what did I do differently here? No matter. We can upgrade these and toy with these as we go. We know we're going to have more than enough power to start. So speaking of power, we got to add a power substation. And, you know, if I cover this, this would be covered right here. I don't know what if I'm going to be adding anything else to the immediate area here. So we will just stick with minimalist power coverage and update that as we go. I might have to change this to a large. Can I fit a large down here actually? Oh, I can. I like that. Kind of covers an area I don't really need. What if I... Let me go ahead and see if I can build this across. Ah, I can. Can be frustrating placing things in this game. To get things even requires just the slightest tap of your finger sometimes. And you still have to kind of rotate it in a way that makes it work. This mother son of a biscuit. Ah, there's pretty even. See, it won't snap on that angle. Maybe I could just place a small Mac Daddy right here too. Oh well, let's just place this with a small one here. I'll worry about that later. There we go. Covered. Got it covered, coach. Alright, so Hammond's covered. Hammond Creation Lab is covered. Now let's go ahead and build a pen around here. We're gonna have a T-Rex to start. So we will just use a concrete wall. We're not gonna use electrified concrete on his butt yet. We'll see how his behavior is. We'll have a little stumper action here. It's kind of low, but that's okay. Now we're gonna go straight, and they're claiming that's outside the buildable area, but I call shenanigans on that. So right about there's as far as we can go, and let's maximize our space here using the curve. Not enough people utilize the curve feature of the game. It's really handy for maximizing your space of your enclosures. I think everybody should try to do that because it does add up, and it does make it seem like you can have more dinos. I don't mind square enclosures, but I like kind of using the natural contour of the map for the outsides, because enclosures usually look better on the outside of the map with the forest backdropping the dinosaur. It looks more natural to me. other people might not care, but it looks better if you have a jungly background for your dinos than a city one. That doesn't mean we won't have any enclosures that are, you know, maybe a little bit more fortified, but actually having your dinos against the edge of the map is going to be safer too, because, you know, if they break out on the back side of an enclosure, well, you don't got to worry about them going and fucking up your guests right away, because they're going to be relatively safe. But dinos don't tend to actually break out. They always tend to break out at the front. Of course, we have low breakouts, so we're not gonna have to worry about that too much. And let's go ahead and see if this is this straight shot. Let's go from here. Ah, there. Let's see if this is a straight shooter. Looks like it might be. Be impressive. Ho! That is a good looking enclosure. Pretty big too. It's pretty big. Let's go ahead and smooth some of this shit out. If the game will let me. Not too much. We'll cover the back side of this with some decorations and whatnot. So we want to have a T-Rex for our first dino so we can start making some money at this park. We're also going to need a viewing station here, so let's see how big a viewing station is. That covers roughly 75% of the pen. It should be good for now. So I'm gonna place that in the middle, enough that I can fit a gate in the middle too here. I mean, I could do a gyrosphere ball and start making money too. How much is a gyrosphere? A little bit more expensive. But you get your viewing covered, and you also can make some money. But they do require, you know, food and drink nearby. We're not going to worry too much about that because we're just... The park's in pre-sale. The park's not going to be perfect for quite a while. So let's just, you know... And most of the dinos that I keep in here are going to be housed temporarily anyways. So let's just go with a viewing gallery. Because I think that looks nicest. And we'll see if that substation, you know, covers it or not. So let's go ahead and branch this off. And you come down. I feel like if you're coming over the hill, you'd want to say like, oh, right about here. Let's go to the viewing gallery, you know? Let's go view the dinos, see what they got cooking in the old Hammond Creation Lab. And we'll smooth this out a bit because that's looking kind of steep. Let's do this actually. Let's flatten. Give some space. And then let's smooth her out. Some people don't like a long incline. I tell you what, you'd rather walk a long incline than a lot of short intervals. A lot of short intervals are going to wear people out, and we know, well, with how much fast food these guests are going to be eating, that they might not be in the best of shape. So, power problems. Let's update that. Get our refund. Now, if I place a Big Mac Daddy right here, it will cover the whole park. We can't fit it here, but we couldn't even reach there if I wanted to, because that's the furthest out we can reach. So we'll just place this to the side because it fits. Train constraints. Right there. That will cover this entire area down here. Should cover all of it. Oh, let's see if we can place a gate here in the middle. Perfect. Now rangers can get in there. Now we gotta stock our pen. We're gonna have T-Rex to start. So let's go ahead and get some meat meat right there so the guests can see it. It's gonna stay a nice flat pen because this is like a scientific environment for our little Hammond scientists to study. So we're gonna have some meat, and we'll also have a goat so our T-Rex can have something to hunt. I suppose we'll place a herbivore feeder in here or two as well, but not yet because I don't have any herbivores in here. But I should just get that done now because I'll probably forget later. So meat. Line this up. There we go. More meat. Herbivore snacks right here. Also, tall herbivore snacks over here, because these guys will be big. And then, the fishies. Can we fit a fishy in here? We can. Alright, so we got every type of feeder in this pen. Let's do some decorating. We got rock here along the outside of the map. You can't really see it because of the texture, but all that dark spot is rock. So we're going to give this a little bit of a rock vibe to it. Since it's so flat, you know, it would mostly be rocky right here. Still a lot of volcanic leftovers. Ungrowing spots that haven't been seeded properly yet. So yeah, we kind of got a rocky border. Over here, I like to do sand. I don't know why. I just think it looks good. Since it's raised up. We'll also do some smoothing out here. I thought I already smoothed this. But having it raised up like there's some sand is alright. Okay, now trees. Nature. So we're gonna give this, it's gonna obviously just be some grassland. Well, we'll keep it somewhat mowed and organized, but I'll have some grassland on the edges. Kind of like the vibrant. Looks good. We'll have some dirt here in front. Dirt all around here. Just so the pen, you know, doing these little things actually makes stuff look so much better. We'll make it look like dinos hang out a lot here. And then also that this is dirt. Connecting. There we go. That's looking pretty good. Trees. We're going to always be altering the trees in here. Based off of, you know, how many dinos we have. But we'll put some trees here. Kind of covering up some of these janky parts. Give it a little bit of swampy damperness back there. Seeing if I can add what trees I can add to the back part here to kind of cover up any of the crooked spots. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Delete some of these. Because it doesn't make sense that there would be a lot of trees covering up that are growing in the water there. And we'll place... We'll leave that a little bit rocky there on the edge. We'll leave that. So, we got $21 million left. Let's go ahead and release our first dino, but we cannot release a freaking T-Rex without first getting some operations going. Rangers would be good to start, and so would ACU. Where do I want to fit these guys is the question. If I place these guys up here, that might be a good spot for them. But I don't know if I can fit ACU and Rangers right here. So there's ACU. Taking up about half the spot. I kind of like them on this elevated platform. They're going to go to... yeah, about halfway. Let's see if the Rangers would fit right next to them. Oh wait, this is ACU. And then this is Rangers. So they do both roughly fit. But we don't want to have them too close to our paths. Give it some space. You know, we got this whole pizza slice here to work and build our operations. But having these guys close to the Hammond creation lab to start will be a good thing. So yeah, Rangers right next to the power station. Let's have them... I want to go at an angle that's not going to mess with my pathing at all. And it does not. It's close. It's close. But you see what the natural terrain does when you mess with it? It just gets all screwed up. So ACU center. Gonna look good here at the top. Of course we can bring it back a smidge. So it's kind of here. Or kind of had at an angle. Who is texting me? Sorry, I got some messages there on my phone. I feel like ACU would look pretty good right here. Yeah. Yeah, let's go with ACU right there. Nothing really picky right now, because I can always, you know, modify my park once I get good stream of money. We're down to $20 million. We got to keep an eye on that money. And actually that path didn't turn out too janky. Just some flattening, smoothing out will be necessary. And then we'll work on connecting this one and smoothing it out in a second when it's finished up. No substation here, so we should work on that. And they'll actually let me do this, which is pretty nice. If I place this down, it's gonna probably make my whole thing slope. Terrain constraints back here. And it's too far away there. We don't want a substation right next to the Rangers. Let's actually go... Let's go right here. And let's just do a substation that's harmless. This shouldn't affect the slope of that sidewalk too much. There. We got power. We got Rangers. We got ACU. Let's fix this ACU a little bit. I got sticks landing on the top of my house from the wind right now. It's terrifying. Okay. Yeah, so these turned out quite nicely. ACU is on the hill. They can fly down to the Hammond lab and trank any dinos. Same thing with the Rangers. I'm gonna just work on upgrades and a few things for a while, so I'll come back on the mic in a bit. So something that I'm doing here as my money's starting to dwindle because I've been spending too much is I deactivated all these power stations, so then we're using less money. No upgrades on this one. I don't even need, I screwed this up, but the T-Rex should come out nicely. We're just playing the waiting game right now. And no upgrades on Ranger or ACU yet, because I'm only going to have the one T-Rex generating money in the park. But something I wanted to mess with here, let's say that people have heard the park is getting constructed now. So the dinosaur rating difficulty, because people are going to be so happy to hear that, oh, the park's being rebuilt and you can come visit the park. So economic difficulty, let's say yes. Let's make that easy. That they're going to be paying a lot of money to come see this park early. And the guest count difficulty will be easy. And then also this will be easy. And also this will be easy. Let's say that people have heard about things, and then our contracts are on. So game is on once we get our first dino released here. Currently, money-wise, you know, we're not doing that good. Mostly on power, but we're saving power now by closing that stuff down. So once this T-Rex is cooked up, then we're going to be making money, because we will have everything we need here to start to entertain our guests. So let's go ahead and do some decorating before guests arrive. Because we're not going to have very many facilities for the guests to start. Let's go ahead and place some forest down. Make it look a little bit more wild for guests. The wild Isla Nublar that's been heavily reseeded since the volcanic. It's got all that volcanic ash that fertilized the ground. We'll leave that a little bit open there for the Rangers. Rangers can drive through the jungle if they want. Make the path look a little bit wild and cover up. Oh, I don't want to do that. Cover up our power grid a little bit. There. Now it should be looking wild. So guests are only going to be able to come into the park and view the T-Rex to start. We have the easy ratings. We'll see how easy it is to satisfy our guests. But we're going to go and open the park and release our first dino to the public. The park is open. I don't know why you have to hit that twice. So now let's go ahead and release Rexy. Just a regular T-Rex. I didn't want to spend... I had that up to like 6 or 7 million. I'd rather just spend $1 million on the T-Rex to start. It's just a traditional, no upgraded genetic T-Rex. Just as the true Isla Nublar should have as its very first dino. And he's still a 5-star, so he's going to definitely attract a lot of guests. And we already got 56 guests in here. Just like that, they are fast. And we got a disease right away. I noticed that happens, so let's go ahead and send ACU on him.
Understood.
Get him medicated so he's healthy again. I actually want to change this back here. Oh, I can't change that with the tree. That's alright, this enclosure's looking pretty good. He is satisfied in here, so he'll be good to just live. Let's see how see if these guys can even hit him. Let me pilot the darn thing.
No diseased dinosaurs detected.
There. So Rexy's happy. Be healthy and strong. And can attract us some revenue. Now we're making 84 grand a minute. Because ticket sales are through the roof. Because people just heard about the park. But that's not going to last for very long. Because people are going to need more dinos. So we got to work on that. So obviously they want food, drink, fun, restrooms. Transport's okay to there. So let's give them some food. Food and drink. The thing about building down here is that the terrain. And they're going to want us to incubate a dinosaur, so we'll go ahead and accept that since we're getting started with playing the actual game. So let's just give them some food. Fast food would be the cheapest. A restaurant being 150. Fast food's more expensive than a restaurant? Wait, what? 4-star, 3-star. 3-star, 3-star. Well, we don't need more food than drink. We just need an even amount of both. So let's find a flat spot for our fast food to make the guests a little bit happier with their lives. This is just a rough mess down here. I don't know if I want to mess up the terrain or build anything too close. If I build it up here, that might satisfy these guests a little bit. Just give them a place to eat on the park for now, you know. And let's build this away from the sidewalk a little bit. Because I feel like if you build it too close, it just screws up your terrain. So, fast food to start. Place for everybody to eat and be happy. This substation will probably not cover it. So we'll go ahead and expand our power grid. We don't want to have it too close to our ACU guys because that's going to piss them off. So let's go ahead and redo some of this. Hammond's cost me an arm and a leg here. So if I have one power station, it would cover pretty much the gist of this area. So let's just redo this. Yeah, we can just redo all this with one power station right here. And everybody will be happy, I think. Let's go ahead and delete this one. And then power-wise, we should be good when that's built. Ah, they do need an extra substation branching out down here. If I move this, if I move that a little closer, it would work. So let's move this a little closer. We'll use the money. We're making money now. Damn, my volume is loud as shit here. Turn that down for you. We'll go ahead and redo this so it's a little bit closer to to the viewing gallery. Yeah, there we go. We want it down around here. There, it's just close enough that it covers pretty much everything. Let's see if that works, huh? Hammond Foundation taking away a fair amount of money from us. 59 grand. $59 grand from those suckers. T-Rex can only make us so much money. But yeah, this path looks pretty sweet. Pretty sweet looking here. I like seeing the Hammond lab down here. It looks like we did pretty good on this first area to start. Oh, requires a path connection. Now, fast food is not a very good looking building to me. We'll just connect a cheap path here and give the guests their food.
Visit our new fast food restaurant.
Smooth this out a little bit too, so it's not looking so rough for the guests. There we go. So we got food. Does that make anybody happy? No. It does not make them happy. It's right there. Oh, it's my visibility. The visibility is varying because Rexy is walking in and out of the enclosure. So, we need to work on more dinos. That's an easy one to get to build our reputation. So, we've got a good start to the beginning part of the park. I'm not going to worry about keeping them happy. In fact, fuck this thing. Let's go ahead and delete it. And fix the terrain here too. Change my mind on this one. We're not worried about making that much money from guests because we got ticket sales to take care of that. Okay. So this part of the park is just about complete. Filling out our pizza slice with Rangers and ACU there at a good part where they can get to most of the dinos on the rest of the island. Because our Rex should be making us some money here. We're making 82 grand. And the Hammond Foundation taking 59 grand of it away. What's my setting at for that? That's a fair amount. Alright, Hammond, lay off me for a little bit. Let's go cheap. Hammond Foundation ain't fudging around. Let's see how much they take out when it's set to cheap. Now that we've got a dino, and let's just say that, you know, they realize our park is doing quite well to start. We haven't used too much of their money. So onward to the rest of it. The thing I like about Jurassic Park, the original, is it had an actual wild park-like feel, whereas Jurassic World, it was very industrialized. So I want a little bit of both with my park. Like, I'd like to have it so maybe there's a tour. I want this park to look unique and different. Maybe there is a park tour going through the whole park, but then also, you know, have my industrialized section in the center of the map, dinosaurs on the outside. Very straightforward layout. is how I want this. Nothing super fancy or anything like that. And our Rex seems to be doing very well so far. He's looking happy. Yeah, it's not too steep for people to walk. So, looking at the rest of the park here, you know, we don't need to worry about the Innovation Center yet. We know we're going to place that at the center of the map. The first thing we're going to have to do is kind of figure out our pathing. Let's go ahead and release a Struthiomimus too, just to get that out of the way. It's at 14 rating. We gotta really modify the genome of these stupid things. There we go. Alright. This will take care of these two things, and our Rex will be able to entertain our guests. That'll just take a second for him to cook up. Yeah, I don't think we did too bad here on this first section. You know, getting our power out of the way is a big thing. You know, we don't need any of these things. Maybe a storm defense station down the road. A science center in this area might look kind of cool. Alright, let's watch this stupid Struthio get 8. And that gives us 100 grand. Pretty Struthio. And we got 225 grand for that as well. So that's good. He's not gonna last long in there. That Rex will hone in on this pretty quickly, I think. Let's see if we can get the Rangers down here and get a picture of this too for some extra money. Get over there before he eats it. Did you already eat it? No, it's right beside me. Keep our distance so he doesn't chomp us. There it is. Oh, no, 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 no. No, 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 no. You stay away from me, mister. I'm just observing. Eat that thing, not me. Look at him falling. Well, I don't know when he'll hunt it down. It'll be a good picture. Alright, well, let's get out of here since they're not gonna do anything. There you go, guys. Actually, don't keep that door open. Alright, so... what do we need to build first? I don't know. So I think I'm going to place the T-Rex up here, the very north of the island. In Jurassic, well, it's not technically the north because the north is there, our starting point. I guess I could optionally look at dividing this out and giving the T-Rex front and center status that everybody in the park gets to see him or her to start. That'd be pretty cool. We could show that we've got a, we've got a park that we know what we're doing here. But let's remove some of this terrain because I'm still trying to build money here. The income per minute, Hammond's taking 67 grand out of my ticket sales. So, it says we're going in the negative right now. So we definitely got to get to cooking up some other dinos. That's a pretty big space right here. From here to there. Pretty big space. We can just build a heavy-duty electrical fence around it. Let's bring our power grid up here. We'll make the power follow the paths for now. Not too close to the paths, but because we will probably be updating my path system. We'll keep the power grid to the outside of the edge of the island. Can I sneak this over top of here? Yeah, it doesn't look too bad right there. Unless... Ah. Right here I could have my first power station and cover quite a bit of area. I think I like that. Let's do that for now. I'm just kind of freestyling here with my part until I get enough money. Kind of on that money grind right now. Looks like more than big enough area to have a T-Rex and then some other dinos. This is nice and flat right here. But I think it'd be cool to first arrive in the park and just bam, see a fucking T-Rex right there. You'd know that that was a pretty neat park. If the T-Rex is the first attraction to see, you know, because the crazier attractions like the Indominus and what will be down there. Well, I think a T-Rex is cooler than the Indominus, but what do I know, you know? So, heavy steel fence on the outside edge here. We're gonna have a little bit of space here to start. I'm gonna go from here. Where does this section kind of end? Ah, so it'll be from about here or here. I like this. I like this mountain backdrop for the T-Rex. So let's start right here because it looks most natural with the terrain. And let's build it in a straightish line. Well, it's gonna be a really big ass enclosure actually. So let's build around the edge first. Heavy steel, electrified, not concrete for the T-Rex, because I feel like heavy steel is going to look the best. It's going to be expensive though, we all know that. And of course I'm going to get a no power warning to start. But heavy steel is the best looking thing for T-Rex because the guests can see through it. It's just a legit normal start to the rebirthing of Isla Nublar. I feel like this might actually be the coolest place to have the T-Rex right at the start of the map. Go big or go home. Hammond Foundation is killing me, even on easy settings. So I'm not sure if that's bugged or not. Maximize our space here with the T-Rexer. Of course, it's such a nice flat area. I think what I'd almost rather do, because it's hilly right here, you got to pay attention to the terrain. I think what I'd like to do is maybe right here when it starts to get flat, to just build straight out and around the water. Just like this, so guests roll up and they see like, holy shit, there's a T-Rex pin right there, dog. Like, we gotta go fucking see a T-Rex. Keep that somewhat even with the path. Because we're doing big pins to start. As we get more dinos in the island, we will work on smaller pins, obviously. Decent shape to it. Decent shape. We'll delete this extra scrap. Spare no expense. Doesn't look too crazy janky right there with the hill, but I don't think Mr. T-Rex is going to be worrying about that. Let's cover that up with some trees. Yeah, that's the answer. Just cover it up. Cover up your problems with trees. So now the guests come in to our beautiful park. They see, holy shit, there's a giant pin with a T-Rex in it. Visibility wise, we're gonna have to put a gyrosphere down. We're gonna have to put a gyrosphere down. For sure. Somehow these two are surviving, so we'll stock Struthios in our T-Rex pin all the time. Don't understand that one bit. And we're gonna have some guest attractions right here. So you get off of here, so you can walk around through the park, or just go left right away. Go left right away and see the damn T-Rex, you know? Give guests a lot of choices to start here. So we'll just make a cheap path branch off. So right away when you get off of here, be like, oh, you can look down here and you're gonna see some buildings and things for you to check out. To there. It's not exactly the straightest line. We'll fix it. Start right here. Actually, let me size up some things, because we're gonna need good viewership of Mr. T-Rex, which a viewing gallery gets you a good chunk of it. I feel like that looks cool. So if it looks cool, I'm down for it. Go and connect them. No power to there, but it should be connected to this. So again, using minimal power here at our park. I should probably do a gyro station, because that's guest visibility is very important. So if I do a gyro station here, have it be one of the first things you see. Be like, hey, check it out. Here's your gyro station. Yeah, I think that's a cool idea. We're going to try to keep the gyro ball thing on somewhat even terrain, which can be difficult. This is already having a real Jurassic Park type feel to it. It's going to be basically a modern day Jurassic Park. You know. Keeping to the edge. So you can see our safety measures. And then you're going through the jungle, baby. Through the jungle. Train gets a little bit wild in there, but nothing too crazy. Let's see what this train's like. A little bit crazy there. Let's change that. I can't see the terrain, so it's difficult for me to assess where I'm going here with the gyro. Alright, let's take a look at our gyro track. No, we're not worried about that. Ooh. Cool. It gets a little jank right here. Because this is a hill. So we need to go over the hill or on the... Let's go... Let's delete this section where it gets wild. Here, let's delete some of these trees so I can actually see what I'm doing. So we can just re-add the trees. Let's go ahead and connect our cheap paths.
Ladies and gentlemen, go for the ride of a lifetime at our gyrosphere attraction.
Ah! Okay, now I can see. Helps being able to see. There we go. Super cool gyrosphere covering all the enclosure. Let's go ahead and jungle this up. Make it scary and mysterious for the gyrosphere people. And now we just need a place for the Rex to eat. And this will be a done deal. We'll have a place right here for the goat. Oh, wait. Right here for the goat, just like the OG Jurassic Park. One of the first things you see when you come in is the mother flippin' goat feeder. How cool would that be, huh? Also with trees around it. Can't really add too many trees, but you get the idea, right? We need to delete these, actually. People gotta see the Rex pen to start. I actually kind of like the water. I think it looks legit. This looks legit on a hill, too. Cool. I like the things looking more wild than not wild. So we got our live bait feeder. We'll also have a meat feeder somewhere in here. We want guests to have to get on the gyrosphere to really see what's going on with the T-Rex. So let's give the T-Rex a place to eat up here in privacy. And then also we should have a gate. We need a gate for Ranger Team access. I feel like a gate right there would make most sense based off where the Ranger Team's located. Alright, Rex Pen, some decorations we can do. Add a tree in. We'll add some rocks too, because they look kind of fancy. You know, I could do some redwood trees here. I think that would look kind of neat. But for now, I think this is looking pretty sweet. So let's go ahead and transport our wrecks. I can tell we're not making much money, so we got to work on that. Actually, let's just pilot it ourselves. Struthio's still alive in there. Alright, you go night-night. Transport Mr. T-Rex. Clear on over to his new home. It's got more than enough water. We're just going to leave it because I think it looks kind of good. Like that. Then let's transport the Struthiomimus. We'll just put that stupid chicken up front here. Park's looking pretty cool to start. More than enough water. We might have to actually increase the grassland a bit for the wrecks. Yeah, looks pretty sweet. So, next dinos. We are gonna have to have more dinos, obviously. I feel like we could add some that Struthio won't last forever, so let's add like some Gallimimus to there. They're cheap. I don't have those to 100% though, so let's just add. Let's do this. Let's release a couple Struthios. So the guests have something to watch. Ah, shit. Oh, frick, I just canceled one too. Well, this is going well. I'd add Gallimimus, but I don't have the DNA for it. I have to go on one of my other parks and do some grinding. So they want us to power and connect an arcade. Let's also smooth this out. So y'all want an arcade, huh? You want that fun. They want that fun stuff to do. I feel like a natural place for stuff for the guests is going to be right here. Right along the edge here to start. You get off, like, bam, there's an arcade. Cool. You can actually place that pretty far back.
Asset has been transported. Asset delivering.
You happy? I can't view you. Yep, you're happy. Found that food, no problem. So they want us to just keep releasing the dinos.
We are pleased to welcome the Struthiomimus to the park.
Dang it, you chicken. Watermelon chicken. Are there any other chickens in here? Just these two? Okay. So we're releasing the Struthios with the deactivate these for now.
We are pleased to welcome the Struthiomimus to the park.
Save some money. So where is this power notification coming from? No power. Are they talking about this? Ah, So we gotta activate one of these bad boys. Or place an upgrade on it. Alright, saving money by not dispensing this stuff all the time. Because deactivating...
En route to collect the asset.
And these Struthios. You can see we're still not really making money at the park yet, despite trying to save money. So these settings I got it on are difficult enough, that's for sure. Which is fun. It's fun to struggle a little bit. Because I'm not like a big fan of regular sandbox mode, just building whatever you want. It gets boring quickly to me. I'm not that creative. I need some kind of a challenge. Because without a challenge, we don't have any chaos.
Asset to be collected.
As Ian Malcolm would say.
Collecting asset.
Place that chicken over there. So, let's go ahead and deactivate this viewing gallery. What? No. There. So that causes us to not have any viewing things down here. So we'll keep that all deactivated, which is perfectly fine. That's just not, it's just not open for guests right now. Don't worry about it. So these are all deactivated and they'll stay deactivated. 17 grand. 3 new dinosaurs. So we're getting close to our low rating. She wants 3 new dinos in here. That T-Rex ain't gonna stay happy forever, but population-wise we can fit 3 more dinos. So let's get those Gallimimuses going, and actually let's save and do some research on another island, because this is a Jurassic adventure that we're going on here. Let me see if I can just smooth this out. Yeah, there we go. Then it doesn't look as janky. Looks a little bit more natural, huh?
Asset has been transported.
We got damn goats all over the place. So I really like this idea that I got going on here. Let's see what's going on with our management side of things. So obviously they want food and drink here. They've got drink, apparently from the arcade. Does an arcade, an arcade covers some drink, so now we could counterbalance this by something that covers some food.
Asset has been delivered.
The bar. A bowling alley, but that's mostly fun. Or a restaurant. I think a restaurant right here would actually look better than just fast food.
Delivery complete.
But our park is cheap to start. Wait, isn't fast food, or isn't a restaurant cheaper than fast food? So we got this nice and even. Perfect. You can eat. and watch dinosaurs. Surprised he hasn't eaten anybody yet. Got all these chickens running around here. You can't find any food because I don't have a feeder for you. Oops. Alright, where should we let the chickens eat? Chickens can graze right here. There you go, chickens. Have at it. And of course this path is not going to be connected. Guess I can just connect this anywhere I want, huh?
Ladies and gentlemen,
There you go. Get to it. Get to eating. Alright, let's go back to management views. So everybody's happy. Minus over here, they're not happy enough, but they'll be fine for now. Shopping, shitters. Shelter. Shopping. Alright. Let's see. A gift shop would be a pretty cool thing to see from the start. I think gift shop right here actually would look pretty cool. You get off of the tram and then bam, there's a gift shop right there. Looks pretty cool, right? We'll wait till that's complete. I don't know what the gift shop sidewalk looks like. Oh, they want us to do a few more dinos, so let's release... Oh, that's what we're gonna go, get some Struthiomimuses. Because there's really nothing in here. I mean, Brackies maybe. Brackies and TX would get along. Problem is, a regular Brachy is gonna be $1 million, but they're a big, heavy-hitting dino. Would they fit in here? Oh yeah, Brackies would definitely fit. Let's just go ahead and throw some Brackies in there. That's gonna bring our park up a lot. But first I gotta edit this. We'll just incubate them fast because these are going to be non-genetically modified brackies to just keep that, to just keep their... Ooh, let's go wetland. We're going to release 2 of these, and they should incubate pretty quickly with those upgrades on. That's expensive, but they'll generate us some money. Yeah. Keep that stuff deactivated. Let's see how our attractions are doing here. Path connection.
the souvenir shop.
So we're gonna need one more dino to add, and that'll probably just be a Struthio into this pen. I might as well remember to add a tall herbivore feeder for the brackies as well. And for them, they can eat right in there. It blends in perfectly. Just one feeder for them for now. They all don't need any more than that. So this is going to be kind of our just big multiple dino pen. Money wise, could be doing better here. We got 64. When those brachios get added, that's going to make a huge difference though. Yeah, the Hammonds take out quite a bit of money. Quite a bit of money. Even on easy settings, like shit. My pathing system's looking like a complete clusterfuck here. So I might be updating this. Might be simplifying this a good bit. Like I could make one path and then just connect everything to it as opposed to everything connected. Let's go ahead and see if we can fix this, because this looks like a clusterfuck. Let's go ahead and fix this quick. We are going to simplify things a bit.
Bienvenue à Jurassic World. Nous vous souhaitons un agréable séjour.
There, we'll just change this to normal path and just connect them really short and stumpy. Why does that look so janky? Oh, whatever, it's connected, right? It's hard to get the pathing not to look like total butt. Oh, of course, connecting this. What the heck? There. Now she's looking a lot better. Smooth it out a bit. There. That's looking much, much better. I'm surprised he's not eating them. Alright, brackies are ready. Let's see if the brackies would actually be happy in here for a little while. I'm curious. Ah, they would need more forest. So if we were to make this for brackies in here, let's see if this would actually fit. I'm just kind of curious if it would fit one of the largest dinos in the game, you know. A little bit more. Oh, a little bit less forest now, huh? Just a little bit more forest, huh? Yeah, it's right there on the edge. So I wonder if I made the water source a little bit less. If I cut this water out right here. Make that the bare minimum. And then just take out a smidge of grassland. Or a smidge of forest. Missing grassland, missing forest. It's a very, like, it might not even be doable. This pin might just be too small for him. Yeah, it is. The pin's just too small for brackies to maintain in here. But it was a good test to see if this pin was big enough. Luckily, this pin does not need to be that big. We'll keep it about like that. So, let's go ahead and have ACU take these guys out. They're talking about something.
Confirming task.
No more food for you guys, sorry. So they'll be knocked out in a second. So we need a place to go potty for the guests. I guess down here is as good as any, right? Also an emergency shelter down here as well, I think would be a good thing. Or an emergency shelter right here, so everybody can get to it if they need it. Because I might end up squeezing a monorail station right here. Probably will. Probably be a pretty cool thing to have right there. Or even a monorail, like squeezing one in. If I could fit one right there. I mean, preferably I'd just be able to fit one and connect it to this. But maybe I'll fit the first monorail right there and then another monorail over here or something. I don't know. I'm not going to worry about the monorail system just yet. Transplant time. Now this should be more than enough forest for brachiosauruses. And they should be able to live with T-Rex actually. Because I want this to be more of a natural park with multiple dinos and enclosures instead of... I think it's boring to just look at one type of dino in one enclosure. That's okay for things like Indominus and whatnot, but the rest of your dinos can be housed with other dinos, and I think you should do that because it makes it look better.
Asset transportation underway.
Alright, we might have that little weird random grass patch there, but that's okay. That's okay. There. Now that's looking proper. Can I demolish that little nub sticking out there? It looks kind of strange. There we go. That's looking pretty sweet. We'll just leave some grass there for now. So, brackies are being transported down.
Transportation complete.
So you see a T-Rex can actually be pretty tolerant of other populations. So that's pretty sweet. Power-wise, doing good on our power grid. Let's change this to a protection. We have low outage occurrences, so we should be able to get quite a bit out of this if we need to. Cause yep, now we're making some decent money. 300 grand a minute. Pretty good start to our wild island here. I am gonna probably end the stream here, since we've got a really good start to our island. Cause that's pretty cool having T-Rex, Struthios, and them. We'll see if Struthio gets 8 here. Oh, there we go. Our first Struthio is down. Yup.
Heading to pick up the asset.
So that only increases his rating, actually. He's killed 2 of them. Killed 6 goats. That only increases that rating, I believe, which is pretty cool. These guys, they got a 5-star rating as it is. So dinosaur rating wise, we're not doing too bad. There's a welfare penalty, that'll go away. And as we genetically modify dinos, that makes a huge difference too. Because these dinos aren't going to last us forever. Their life, you know, they have some long lifespans for now, but they won't be lasting forever, that's for sure. So yeah, pretty good looking start to our park. I like what I've done with the terrain. I like what I haven't done with the terrain. I'm just kind of leaving it all natural. We could probably place even some sand around here and make this look kind of like it's been built up. Sand or rock or something. What's rock look like? Kind of like that. That looks kind of cool, actually. Yeah, T-Rex, first dino you see, getting off the tram. See what this looks like.
Tour offline. User control activated.
Oh yeah, that's pretty cool. Pretty cool. I need to release something in here that'll eat these damn goats. So that'll be our next dino, some sort of carnivore. But our first pen being right here, the attractions are covered. Facility-wise, the guests are fairly happy because they have everything they need right here. So yep, we will stream again later.